Hey YouTube, today we're going to talk a little bit about electricity. You've seen me from a lot of my videos of working on cars, and this right here is a voltmeter. This is also a voltmeter. This is kind of a crappier one. This is an analog, this is a digital. But essentially what we're trying to do is I'm swapping out my lights. And my lights are, some of them work in this car, some of them don't. So I wasn't sure what the problem was. So I wanted to show you quickly how you can check when you're looking at the circuit, whether or not the light bulb is the culprit or if it's maybe a fuse or something else. So first thing is, this is of course normally a regular incandescent bulb, but this one is white. This one smoked all of a sudden on me when I was trying to test this, and I'll explain why here in a second. But what you want to look for is continuity. So in a very simple sense, this is the inside of the light bulb, and what you're looking at is just the tungsten wires that go across. That's the filament. Well, there's little electrodes on one side and the other, and if you fold those down, you touch the contacts on one side with one red and then one with a black. You should see those numbers change. Okay, now it goes to 0. That means we have continuity. That means there's a connection between this. It's constant. There's no break in it. If I break it, then it does this. It goes to 1. Okay, that's just like if I put a screwdriver against this, and I touch this, I also have continuity. Okay, there's connection between the two. This is called the you change it to ohms on your setting, which is the little ohm looking thing. It says ohms as well to help you. That's what we're just measuring. So on this one light bulb, that's the white one, I went ahead and I'm confused because I put this across and I have continuity. So this bulb was still lighting up, but it got hot really quick, started generating all this white smoke. If you ever see that, what that means is this lost the vacuum on the inside of this bulb. Now this is a bulb that's been in the car for about 20 some odd years. It's a 99, so it's like a 25-year-old car. So this bulb is bad. And instead of putting it in, I decided I'm going to swap it out with another bulb, one of these. This is an LED bulb. And so these have the same 2 prongs. So I was putting these in and it wasn't coming on. So I wanted to verify that I actually had continuity. And some of these bulbs that came from China were actually not working correctly. So this one here, for example, I'm putting this on the electrodes and I thought, oh, maybe I have it reversed. And if you look at my voltmeter, you're seeing that nothing is coming across, and I still have it on, so just making sure. But this is not showing continuity. So this bulb is actually bad, which is funny because again, it was a brand new pack. But the other thing, oh, there we go. Did we get something? Hang on. So that's what I thought, but then I put some power across it, see, and I'm getting some unique stuff going back and forth. There we go. And I'm putting it right on the wire. So if I touch both wires, that's what's happening. But if I stop, then it starts kind of doing a little bit of a number. It's because LED bulbs don't have as much resistance as an incandescent bulb. So if you're having an issue where your brakes are so your brake lights is what I try to swap out. These are brake lights, and also this is on the center of the brake lights. There's one left, one right, and then there's the middle center one. That one is the one that smoked, did this. So that happened because of what I've already explained. The challenge though is when I went to swap it out, the cruise control stopped working. What I didn't realize is also cruise control in these vehicles uses the resistance, and it measures that, and without the right resistance, the cruise control won't come on because you push on the brakes to get the cruise control to disengage. So it constantly thinks that the cruise control is never able to engage because it's not set up to do that because the resistance is too low. So if that ever happens to you, know that that's the reason why. The other thing is, if you ever see a bulb that looks like this is what the ones were above the it's called, not the tail lights, but the license plate lights. This is super burned out. But if you wanted to check that, you would put that against the ohm meter. Just find one of these wires on one. Oops. And then on the other side. And we should see nothing. The reason we see nothing, again, is because we don't have continuity. So if you want to check a bulb real quick and say, is this working, is it not? Like I said, this bulb just happened to be bad, or at least I thought it was bad, but it ended up being the resistance was not high enough to where it wasn't working. And so then other things are, because these are kind of cheap, sometimes you have to flip them the other way, and the contacts just don't hit quite right, so you have to like bend the little metal looser so that way it's kind of open. See, I don't know if you can see it, but it's open a little bit more than normal. That's another trick I found, because these are again from China, but man, they are so much brighter. So I'm gonna pause it, I'm gonna walk over to the car, I'm gonna show you one of the ones I was just swapping out. So you're actually looking inside the trunk now. I don't know if you can see this, but this is one of the bulbs that we swapped out. Okay. My problem with this is I have to modify this cage a little bit because it won't close. And that's one of the things you'll find if you get these cool little bulbs, is you have to modify some stuff. I have that same problem with the door panels. Also with the ones on the tail lights, I have the same issue. So if you're working on these cars, just know that you will probably have little modifications and not, but it's really, I think, worth it to swap the LEDs out, because like in this trunk, if someone leaves this open, it stays open. So unless you hold the switch down, which I'm not going to do, then someone leaves this trunk open and now the battery dies. Most of the time with these LED bulbs, they draw so little current that they won't drain a battery overnight. So I swapped this out in all the overhead lamp as well, because my kids left that on. Then they went ahead and burned my battery out, and the batteries are like 150 bucks these days, so I don't want to spend that anymore. That just seems like kind of a waste. So anyway, this is the 99 Corolla. Like I said, if you have any questions, please post them. But this is how you can check an incandescent bulb and determine whether or not it's bad or not. So thank you, and see you guys next time.